Yeah, if you go to all the metrics that Cam ran through and you see all the teams that are surrounding Marshall in those rankings, both above and just beneath, you will be mighty impressed. Now, of course, they were playing a different level of schedule than the Alabamas and Michigans and Georgias that were surrounding them, Illinois and Iowas in those defensive rankings, but still, they also had that level of player defending those offenses on the schedule. So
Right.
it's like competition. And again, went to Notre Dame and laid down the hammer.
Right. And I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's not like, you're playing an NCAA, college football, EA Sports, whatever, video game dynasty where you've turned, Marshall or, South Central Tech that you started as a 1-star school and now there's 5 stars all over the roster. So they're not playing above, like you're not stacked and then playing down in your Conference USA. Like, you're playing with talented people and developing them up, and they're performing at a very high level, regardless of, maybe they're not going to all go to the NFL, but they're doing a damn good job and they're, at this level. But then also you played up and went on the road to South Bend and beat down Notre Dame, who's a team that's way more talented. So yeah, there's a lot to like. And, Justin Tatavia already wrote a piece for us, a State of the U, looking at Guidry's scheme and how players who are on this roster can fit to that, and how those things can translate. And I mean, he has to be like a kid in a candy shop, because again, you're getting all that done with the also rans. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, Marshall's always been a team of cast-offs, like the guys who are especially along the lines, maybe they're just an inch too short and 20 pounds lighter. Maybe they're 4 steps slower, if you have this big gigantic lineman, which they've had sometimes. Randy Moss got kicked out of Notre Dame and Florida State. You know what I mean? Like, they're an open box special school. Tyree Brady, Miami player of years past, who went to Miami and then washed out here. He ends up there, and he was very talented, but there were issues. So like, finally they went and made it work. But like, Marshall has not ever been or going to be a place that's going to, recruit really, really well. Like, if you're there, you're a mid-tier kind of athlete, or, in the case of clearly Randy Moss is one of the most talented players who's ever lived. But like I said, he got kicked out of 2 different premium locations, premium schools. And then, all right, well, and they were 1AA then. That's FCS now. Like, back when he started there, before they you know what I mean? So you're going to have some things like that. So maybe you got a couple guys with real serious, athletic credentials. More often not than you don't. So spinning that that short detour long back to Lance Guidry, instead of making it work with, okay, a couple tweeners here and a couple guys who washed out somewhere else, now you're coming to Miami with the talent that's on this roster. He has to be. And look, and yes, Tulane was damn good, 12-2 this past year. I watched a lot of their games because they were on a lot. Their quarterback, Michael Pratt, went to Deerfield Beach Senior High School, which is where I had my first job. All these kind of things. Tajay Spears, the running back, was nasty with it. Like, oh yeah, and I'm sure he was excited for that. But like, I get to, and look, I've only been to New Orleans one time. I need to go back. But if you've never been to New Orleans, hey, now, fun place. But now I get to leave from there and go to Miami, which is its own kind of fun place. But in terms of who I'm working with players who are like, many of them should be NFL guys. Many of them, not just like the one-off, like you might get in Marshall or one-off here and there in Tulane. You got more talent you can shake a stick at. You got a first-team All-American at safety. You got another one who's he was a high school All-American. He was, he's one of the more physical players in the world at safety, at James Williams. You got one of the 5 best defensive tackles in the country in Leonard Taylor, not to mention Akeem Mesidor, who's second-team All-ACC. Like, look, you got dudes now. So now I can continue to scheme it up in this way, but now I got better athletes to implement my scheme and to perform those duties. Oh man, Lance Guidry got to be I was gonna use a phrase that my dad used to say. But he will be a very happy individual. We'll call it that.